So welcome to the show. So now I said I saw the slogan, I call it grab coffee, which caught me. How did you think of that slogan?
Well, so it actually, before it was even a slogan, whenever we first started ACE Consulting, um, we didn't have an office space, and we would deal with small businesses that may not even have a company established yet,
Mhm.
so they don't have an office space either. So we had to find a common ground of, both of our companies, where would they meet? If we're as a marketing company trying to help someone build a business and, get it really off the ground, we have to go someplace that's, public, it's comfortable, and, you can talk to them.
Mhm.
So from what I found, I'd always grab coffee, always a
Okay.
local coffee shop. It just made things a lot more smoother, and everyone was a lot more comfortable.
Mhm. Now, was there anybody else that you had modeled yourself from to get that, or just kind of happened?
Kind of happened.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't definitely didn't model off anybody, but worked for us at
Okay.
least.
And so tell me about ACE Consulting.
Yeah. So it's a marketing company built around startups.
Mhm.
So when I first started marketing, it was me, learning how to do web designs, really growing the knowledge of marketing as a whole, from websites to SEO to branding to all these different aspects, and then taking that and helping other companies, in different industries do that exact same thing,
Mhm.
but for their specific niche. So,
Okay. And how long has the company been around?
around 5 years now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference now from you starting out helping people to 5 years later?
Oh man. Well, we have a bigger team. We're
Mhm.
able to do more. Our knowledge is ever growing. There's new tech out now. There's
Mhm.
new platforms and software that we can utilize. So everything's a lot more simple and easy.
Mhm.
With the new programs and um,
Is it harder to prove to businesses now because there's so much technology out there that you kind of got to rein them in a little bit more?
They have a lot of options, when it comes to marketing. So it's really just dependent on what the business needs.
Mhm.
So, and whenever we do meet with a new client, we always try and break that down and understand exactly what it is they need, and then just come up with a creative strategy on how we can achieve that and
Mhm.
help them accomplish their goals, whatever that may be. Whether it's a simple website with a
Right.
single landing page, all the way up to a full-scale e-commerce website.
Okay.
So every client's different, which is what
Okay.
makes it fun.
Right. You
Because we're
never
always
know.
having to come up with creative strategies on
Mhm.
how are we going to help this client out.
Mhm. Has there ever been one where you really had to brainstorm together and say, "Man, how do we market this company?"
yeah.
Some of them can be pretty
Mhm.
tough.
Right.
But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
and like I said, that's what makes it fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We enjoy problem solving
Mhm.
and specifically hard ones.
Mhm.
So we don't mind putting in the late nights or
Mhm.
even
Okay.
weekend hours to accomplish that.
And so ACE Consulting, how did you get the name?
So ACE was a nickname from a while back, and we ended up turning it into above client expectations.
Mhm.
So that's what ACE actually
I like that. Okay.
um,
Okay.
built
Okay.
out means, and that's what we try to always achieve.
Mhm.
Is
And
to
and
go above.
how long have you three been working together?
About a year now,
Yeah.
Okay.
roughly about a year.
How did you meet?
So I met Aaron actually in high school.
Mhm.
We became good friends just through gym class.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And then me and Lucas actually met with one of my first jobs was at a car dealership in Medina, and we were both porters,
Okay.
cleaning cars and waxing and washing, basically.
Got to start somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when did you guys say, "Hey, you know what? I got this idea for a multimedia consulting branding service"?
So it was something that we talked about, on and off.
Mhm.
That because everyone does have jobs,
Right.
and we're still a company that's ever growing.
Mhm.
So we're not Fortune 500
Right.
company yet.
Mhm.
But we just had to continuously get together, make sure everyone's on the same page, everyone's ready to invest
Mhm.
and grow.
And what has been the biggest surprise in a positive way so far?
I think we have great team chemistry.
Mhm.
It's nice having a team of three because each of us can bring something else to the table. In case one or two of us are
I was gonna say,
kind of
does
struggling on a solution,
anybody outrule because you get two, we got three people? Does do you guys vote on something and hey, what do you think of this?
Mhm.
Do you have your tiebreaker or whatever?
I mean, I think the biggest thing we try and do is kind of work together
Mhm.
and then try everything. So it's
Mhm.
like one idea isn't bad or one idea isn't great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So we try and do everything
Mhm.
to work together to find a solution that's going to work for that customer.
Okay.
Mhm.
Specifically, like recently, there was certain problems that like we couldn't change the product,
Okay.
but so we had to like pioneer some different way in order to like market this product
Mhm.
because we can't change anything about the product. We can only change the marketing.
Right.
Mhm.
So this brings me into an interesting question. The Guardians. So bad marketing idea. I mean, they've already had another team named the Guardian. Most people don't like it. Some people say they'll change it. Was this something? I mean, just your personal opinion. Was this something that maybe people in the Guardians organization said, "Oops, maybe we should have looked more into it"?
I mean, growing up my whole life, I've always known them as the Cleveland
Mhm.
Indians, and just with how I guess modern day politics are
Mm-hmm.
progressing, I think they had a lot of external pressure, to
Mhm.
change their name, and they did succumb to that pressure.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think it was a bad idea.
Mhm.
Rebranding is never a bad thing, especially if it's executed properly.
Yeah.
So as
So-
long as they can rebrand successfully, it's a good name.
Mhm.
I think the Guardian sounds good.
Mhm.
So give it a few years, and I think it'll catch on.
Yeah. And so rebranding too. How hard is that if you have a product? And when is it time to rebrand something? Have you had companies come to you or whatever and say, you know what, we're looking to expand or rebrand, we just don't know how. Because even with my show and everything, we're kind of in a rebranding kind of process, which is you still do the same thing, but you want to take it to another level. So when is a good time to rebrand?
I'd say it's almost different for every
Mm-hmm.
company.
Yeah.
I would say it's definitely easier early on
Mhm.
because the more established you are, typically the more brand recognition you already have.
Mhm.
So to have to approach all your current and past clients and say, hey, we're now changing our name or we're
Mhm.
changing our logo or even contact information
Mm-hmm.
can be more difficult to be more established.
Right.
But it's still definitely doable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we're talking to ACE Consulting. Let's go through the room and give me everything that you guys do. I mean, what is your specialty?
So my specialty is more like branding
Mhm.
and business. So like personally, I own my own business outside of this. So like doing everything kind of on the back end to make like businesses work and sell products and to just get that final result, which is ultimately sales.
Mhm.
Like that's my specialty. It's
Okay.
really the branding part and what goes into being a successful company.
And how long you been doing this?
Well, sales personally, I've been
Mhm.
in the business probably about 5 years now.
Okay.
And then I kind of, went to the warehouse thing, started at UPS.
Okay, right. Okay, there you go. Okay.
So then after that, then that's whenever I started the business,
Mhm.
and then that's whenever he approached me with the marketing and stuff like that. So then, I decided to go along with it and see what we could do together. And then that's whenever, we met Lucas too. Well, they were friends for a while,
Okay.
and then I think you guys like reached out to each other or
Mhm.
something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so what is the key element of sales?
The number one thing with sales, I think, comes down to customer service
Mhm.
because it's really about the client. And I mean, obviously, it's the product, right? You can't sell a
Right.
product that's like garbage.
Mhm.
Nobody's going to buy it. But I think what really goes into it is building those client and customer relationships on top of delivering on customer
Mhm.
service, giving them all that free information, possibly even giving them a little bit of something,
Right. Right.
like whatever it takes in order to make your product in your customer's eyes
Mhm.
better than all your competition.
And again, too, so is it harder to do sales now or easier because of technology? And when I used to do sales as far as my own products, we used to call people from working at a paper, so you had to do the cold calling,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And then it got to the point where I didn't need that, and I would do emails. And the percentages of successful sales I would get, I'd say about 80, 90%. Never met the person, but was doing emails. So now with technology, how hard or easier is it to convince somebody?
I mean, honestly, I think with the way that the digital age is kind of going, it's becoming easier, and people have more readily access
Mhm.
into marketplaces.
Okay.
For instance, like it's extremely easy, you know what I mean, in order to go file an LLC or something like that.
Mhm.
That information's out there, but some people, struggle with those types
Right.
of things. So I think that with the digital age, it's making it easier for customers to access like their customer client
Right.
base and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But I also think that because of all that technology now involved with it, it's also harder for people to grasp because there's so much that goes into it.
Right. Okay. And then also proving that these are the people that you have, the clients that you have, especially if you're a newspaper, whatever, you're going after different advertisers, because what you guys told me too, that the followers and the likes and all that were in the olden days or whatever. You didn't have to do that. You know, multimedia, having that presence, how much is it to be successful?
I mean, so your digital presence online, that's the first thing that people are going to see.
Mhm.
So let's say, like for any business, think about Walmart, Target, anything like these big companies. The first thing people are going to do is probably Google search them.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's the first thing you're going to see. The second thing you're going to see is that link. After you click on there,
Mhm.
it's going to take you to their homepage and
Okay.
their website. So then from there, people are going to form their opinion based on you, and then maybe go to the store.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
But then that's why the digital age, is what I'm saying, is making it easier
Mhm.
to get these clients now. Is because now if you have a homepage that converts and
Right.
like has the store, people don't even have to come to the store anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
Buy online.
Mhm.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
And now let's say about COVID and everything. The past couple of years, it's had to have made it easier, one, to have your own business, and two, for people who don't want to go out anymore to go on, go online and everything.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even just working at UPS, you
Mhm.
kind of seen just like during COVID, like it was crazy. It was
Mhm.
just like pallets and
Okay.
pallets full of packages coming through there with it, and it's like just paper towels.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
Like food items
Right.
coming through there, and it's crazy
And
because that's what it like came to.
and so it's easier now too, maybe to start a business in the COVID area, because one, you really don't have to have a store, really, even more now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like brick and mortar locations are almost going by the wayside,
Mhm.
and e-commerce is really taking off because
And-
lower
and-
monthly expenses. If you have inventory, you can even set up a drop shipping type business
Okay.
where you aren't responsible for any sort of warehouse management or even overhead at that point.
Wow. So and you save, as a business person, you save more money then,
Oh,
Okay.
because you don't have surplus and everything
And
else.
then think about it. That's more money for advertising.
Mhm.
That's more money to grow the business. That's more money for product inventory. There's just so many great things that come like with digital age
Mhm.
and kind of the way that the market's moving.
And you got to be able to
But
catch up
again,
with that.
Yeah, the technology part. That's the hardest, I think, part for people to grasp onto. And not only the tech, but like the work that goes into the tech.
Right. Really enjoyed having you guys on the program. We hope the collaboration continues. You will get to see, I'm like the test dummy, you will get to see this show grow as a result of ACE Consulting. I'm Anthony Parker. Keep your head up, always believe in yourself, and therein will lie your answer. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Having us.
Thank you.